Hello everyone, my name is Varun and today in this video we are going to discuss about understanding context API or use context hook in React. So before diving into the code base, let me first share the agenda that we are going to cover. So we are going to discuss about the current problem that we may face. So for this, I'm going to show you the to-do application that we already created. Then I will show you that how to actually deal with this problem, where I will tell you that how context API can help us to deal with this problem. Then I will share a basic understanding of how context API works, what are its basic specifications. Then we are going to understand context API and use context hook with example. And with example, I mean that we will be converting a to-do application using the use context API. Then we will be discussing about how use context or context API is different from Redux, or you can say that we will be discussing about Redux versus context. At the end, I will be sharing a brief summary of what we have covered overall. So let's get started, guys. So in order to actually understand the purpose of using context API, I need to share an example with you. And for this, I have chosen the same example that we created and we created this to-do application. So guys, you need to understand how the component hierarchy is working and how each and everything is being passed. So if you look at this application, you can see that there are different components. The container component for this application is a to-do app, and inside this to-do app, there is a container for add to-do, right? Where we have a text box and a button. Apart from that, once we add a to-do, there is a to-do list component, which is actually showing me all the different to-dos that I have, right? And then we have a single to-do, right? So this is the whole document or component structure of this application. To-do app is the one which is actually handling the complete business logic for this application. As you can see that it is a bare minimum application and we don't have extra stuff. So all the business logic is going to be in my to-do app. So adding a to-do, deleting a to-do, marking my to-do complete or incomplete will be handled by this to-do app component. All right. So now let's see its component tree so that you can actually see what the problem I am going to discuss about. So here I have just converted that UI into this component structure. So similarly, you can see that we have a to-do app component, and to-do app component is going to contain two components, that is add to-do and then to-do list. Similarly, in add to do, there is going to be a text field and then a button to add a to do. And for to do list, you can see that for list, there are going to be list of to dos. And in each to do, there is going to be a delete to do, right? Now, as mentioned that we can perform multiple operations in our application. We can mark our application, mark our to-do as complete or incomplete. We can delete our specific to-do or we can add a to-do, right? Now here you can see that if I have to mark my to-do complete or incomplete, I have to actually pass my function from to-do app to to-do list and then from to-do list to to-do. Right. Similarly, in order to delete a particular to-do, again I have to pass a property or a handler from to-do app to my to-do list and then from to-do list to to-do. Why we have to do this? Because as I have already mentioned that in our case, to-do app is going to be our main container and all the business logic is being handled over there. So now the problem here is that we are actually passing a prop to the to-do list which is of no use for to-do list actually. It is just acting as an intermediary between a to-do app and a to-do. And this is what we actually call as prop drilling. So you can see that I have mentioned complete to-do and delete to-do. in front of to do component because it actually requires these two methods in order to accomplish their task, which is being actually provided by my to do app. Okay, guys. Now the problem is what other problem we can have with this prop drilling. So at this moment, we are only passing these methods. But let's say that we have a hierarchy where we have a component tree, parent, and then child, and then subchild or grandchild, right? And we are passing a state. And if there is a change in that state, in this particular component, parent component, all the child components are going to re-render, no matter if it is a intermediary or not. Apart from that, let's say that in future we thought that okay, this particular, not we as client asks that this particular functionality is not required, then what we are going to do is, or we have to just make changes in our existing application, and actually solving a problem for prop drilling, we may be prone to errors. So guys, I hope that you have understood the issue of prop drilling and how we can actually solve this problem is using the context API. So context API to rescue. So in this next video, I am going to share an same example of this to-do application, and I am going to tell you that how we can actually harness the power of context API and how we can actually convert that same to-do application where we have probe drilling kind of problem, and how it can be removed using context API or use context hook. That's all from my side, guys. Stay tuned. Thank you. Bye bye.